How is everybody doing today? My name is Master Zero and welcome back to another reaction video. This time we are reacting to Everything Wrong with Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse by CinemaSins. And I'm probably going to make this a Marvel week, not going to lie, because Endgame and everything is going on this week, and everything's all like Marvel everything. I look on Facebook, everything is just Marvel. So I'm going to be like everybody else. I really enjoy Marvel stuff, so like I try to find any excuse I can to talk about Marvel or anything that has to do with Marvel Comics, anything. So without any further ado, here is Everything Wrong with Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Or you could have just read that screen.
58 seconds of Into the Logoverse.
Alright, let's do this one last time.
Clever narration harkening back to almost every superhero reboot. Having to have an origin story is still f***ing narration, and it's still a f***ing origin story. So, double sins.
I'm a comic book, I'm a cereal, did a Christmas album.
At this point, can we make meta humor a sin? Because it feels like we should be able to. Also, why are the generic cereals always ending with O's? Especially when Spidey Snacks, Spidey Flakes, and Spidey Grams are still on the table.
Because
that is
the
true.
only thing standing between this city and oblivion is me.
Frighteningly, roughly 11,000 New Yorkers say this to themselves every morning, including but not limited to the mayor, the DA, random aggressive cops, deluded artists, corrupt hot dog vendors, and Howard Stern. Sony headphones is only the first of many Sony product placements in this otherwise artistically original film. Look, I get this is the style of animation that the movie is using to make it stand out, feel more authentically like a comic book or whatever. But that doesn't make it any less irritating that the first time I saw this, I spent 20 minutes of the movie trying to figure out if it was on purpose or if the theater employees were too busy jerking off in people's to pay attention to the presentation of the film. And even when I realized it was on purpose, I then spent 20 more minutes trying to figure out why my popcorn tasted a little extra salty.
I want to hear it.
You want to hear
I
me
love
say
you, Dad.
Hilarious moment, and it shows how much he loves Miles. But it also devastates Miles' reputation at this school. What is up with these cones in this
why is that a
unused
sin?
lane? People are dropping kids off in lane 2, outside the cones. Are we just shutting down lanes of traffic this morning because it goes near a school? This 5 seconds of montage alone should convince every American that we are putting too much pressure on our young students.
Yes.
I don't think I've seen you before.
Since we find out this Gwen Stacy is from another universe, how exactly did she get into this prestigious private school? It doesn't factor in at all to her mission or reason for being there. Why would she even try to get in? Jesus
Oh my
Christ,
God.
is it possible to have too many references to Spider-Man in a Spider-Man movie?
No.
This movie is pointing a pretty big arrow to yes.
Don't you dare sin.
We walk up to her and be like, hey.
You serious, Uncle Aaron?
Do not do this. This is tragically bad advice.
Nah, I can't.
Character insists they can't do a thing over and over only to ultimately do that very thing cliche. My biggest problem with this time lapse is that Miles' roommate apparently needs 2 PC screens, a separate laptop, and a phone, all operating at once. At like,
I mean, I do that.
This guy is either mining Bitcoin or he's mining Bitcoin.
I'm not going through puberty.
I did.
Minus the
but
screen.
I'm done.
Movie was clearly spying on my middle school interactions with girls.
I'm Gwenda.
Why wouldn't she just say her name was Gwen, or whatever name she used to get into this school? Movie not being able to resist a moment this sitcom deserves a sin.
It's just
Okay.
puberty.
He's making sense on some of them.
Puberty is.
Some of
Wanda
them.
would be excellent at CinemaSins. Somehow, Miles' sticky spider hands rip a sticky spider hand-shaped amount of her hair off her head. And no one is going to question the stickiness of Miles' hands? I know why she isn't, but everyone else should be really curious about what's going on here. How exactly did he get all of Gwen's hair from the previous shot off of his hand? Narcs. How is it possible that Gwen is the only one looking up at this moment to see this?
Why is this happening? Please stop sticking.
That was a very
Convenient
funny
comic
scene,
book
though.
page placement is convenient. Where did the Green Goblin even go? It's not as if Spider-Man incapacitated him. He just swung down to help Miles. Is that f***ing
That is
Tombstone?
true.
God, I love that this movie is bringing out these great underrated characters like Tombstone and the Prowler and putting them on the big screen for the first
Exactly.
time. That deserves a send-off. Kingpin
Thank
survives
you.
this.
Get that thing ready to go again. And soon.
King how? It was destroyed. It'd be faster to build a new one from scratch.
Not wrong.
Maybe turn the flashlight off. Look at the center lines of this road and then the cars parked along the right. There is no room for cars to drive in this lane, which means this street is too f***ing narrow, or else all these cars are about to get towed for parking illegally. Also, there is
good for a
meat to
motorcycle.
eat on both sides of this street. NYCers must f***ing love them some meats to eat.
Dirty.
Yeah, I think it's a Banksy.
Banksy. Okay, I gotta read these comics so I can learn how to be a Spider-Man, so definitely the best place for that is a dark alley.
Work for Batman. Please take it off.
Okay, look.
Thank
if
you.
they buried Spider-Man in a public cemetery and they allowed people to visit it and drop off trinkets and flowers, then A, it would still be f***ing overrun with people since he literally just died. And B, there would be way the hell more trinkets and flowers here.
She wanted kids, and it scared me.
As it f***ing should. Who knows what that spider DNA mixed with human DNA would give birth to? You could end up with Eric Stoltz in The Fly, too.
Gotta pause. He's probably gonna say this, but I don't care. In the comics, his semen actually, his radioactive semen actually killed Mary Jane, and pretty horrible. It's called Spider-Man Rain. Look it up. It's amazing.
This whole sequence
traumatizing.
is fun and neat to look at. I mean it, but it's just covering up a super dump of exposition. The snowman head was a good gag, but there's no way it would stay on this long. Not a costume. It was literally a ball of snow. They were just making fat jokes about his gut a minute ago, but now he looks pretty in shape. Actually, Lady Doc Ock is about to make some more jokes about his gut, but my point is that the movie draws the gut only when it needs it. Considering how many times Kingpin has had to go up against Spider-Man, I would think Alchemax would have some exterior cameras pointing up to catch moments just like this. And I guess I would be wrong, but that doesn't make it any less stupid.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Okay, just a second ago, this is how far above Kingpin the vent was. Then Miles bumps into Peter, Bob's your uncle, and now they're 3 times closer? Dr. and Mrs. Peripheral Vision here.
Remember this password, capital DGFAMP.
That password is way longer than the one Liv typed in a second ago.
And obviously you've been glitching.
Glitching? No.
Well, someone saw
I
Wreck-It
love that
Ralph.
part.
Let me tell you the good news. We don't need
Vanilla V. Wreck-It
They
Ralph.
told me about the visuals. They told me about the voice work. They even told me about the fresh original story. But they did not prepare me for how funny this was going to be. And that's a sin for they.
Is there something you
Oh,
want to say to
what?
How come he only ever glitches when it's super inconvenient or when he's talking about glitching?
Maybe it's a mind thing. What I thought.
Spider-Gwen Ex Machina.
I joined a band. Saved my dad.
Bruce Wayne, eat your heart out.
Oh.
After the dust is settled and the newness is worn off, people will still regard this film as fucking fantastic. But I personally will still be trying to point out to people how it's like 25% expositional character introductions, because I'm a dickhead.
My spider
You are a
told me to
dickhead,
head
sir.
to Vision's Academy. Wasn't sure why until I met you.
But since Gwen was in the class Miles showed up late for, that means she was there before he was bitten by the spider. So why would her spider sense tell her to go there? Do these abilities spider sense destiny now? The flashbacks of Kingpin's loved ones, which is also just another rapid-fire exposition dump in a movie full of them, would get more emotions out of me if they dialed back a bit on the Kingpin is comically large and his head is located where most
But I
folks'
love it
sternums
so
would be.
much.
I'm not sure how this action prevents Tombstone from still shooting the guns that live, since they're still clearly pointed at her.
I mean, this place is pretentious.
And also, just another Batcave.
You might need these.
If the
It's a
other spider
spider
people
cave.
have been here the whole time, then why is the spider sense just now lighting up?
I just washed my hands. That's why they're wet. No other reason.
Well, we finally got to a joke in this movie that falls completely flat for me. He might be a
Aw.
real canonical character, but this is like Popeye showing up in the middle of The Incredibles.
That's the
Sometimes I let
boy.
matches burn down to my fingertips just to feel something, anything.
This noir, penny, ham introduction sequence feels like one of those SNL sketches where they do celebrity impressions and give us fake auditions for famous movies.
How did you
Okay.
get here?
The hell?
I-
Same as
makes a
you.
good point.
Why are you asking this?
Look, I made a promise, so I have to keep it.
Promises to dead people aren't all that important, man. I promised my grandfather that I would never forget him, but I already don't remember his name. I think it was Grandpa. See, no one cares.
Oh my god.
The grace of a trained dancer.
Do your ears hang low? Do they wobble to and fro? Can you tie them in a knot? Can you tie them in a bow?
Come on, Miles, get up. You need to be more honest with yourself about this.
After a test that lasted less than 2 minutes? At least give him a day. Jesus.
That
One
is
thing I
true.
will always never understand about these parallel dimension films is the insistence on having everything be the exact f***ing same, with maybe one word change. Like that red X truck in the background. Red X? Really? It's more likely that there's a FedEx in this universe than that there's a red X. In recreating the magic thumb drive that kills the collider, the specifics of which this movie has yada yada to hell and back, they took the time to laser etch a spider logo on it. Because reasons.
Because it's cool.
You gotta go, man.
This movie rules, but literally everything in it is happening too fast. Despite the fact that
Again,
Miles is
I
wearing
think
a
that's on
cheap Halloween
purpose.
costume, it remains completely unshredded after he was dragged across a roof.
No, Ma. I'm sorry. You're on your way. Just keep going.
Does every incarnation of Spider-Man have to lose a beloved uncle?
Yes.
What about MJ?
Well, that new documentary really did a number on his popularity. And honestly, you meant Mary Jane, right? Well, several states have legalized it, and 24 have made it legal for medicinal purposes. But there's still a long way to, you meant Mary Jane the person.
Oh god.
Look, I know how much you want this kid.
All these spider dicks teaming up to prevent Miles from taking part in the climax because they want to protect him? Assholes.
Took you long enough.
It took you long enough, cliche. God damn, this movie had momentum and an understanding of comic books never before demonstrated by any movie adaptation.
Yes.
This is a fun figuring out
Yes.
the powers scene, but there is a timetable, right? You're telling me he's had time to get to Aunt May's, spray paint the suit, let it dry, and do this montage before they could get to the collider and send everyone home? Are they still taking the bus just for comedy now? Boy, they sure did clean up the mess of that last collider accident and build a new machine in a f***ing hurry. Like,
For
2
real.
days? I think it was 2 days. That's so amazing I'm willing to call bull. They do this ceiling hiding trick a lot, and usually I let it go. But there's fucking 5 of them, including a giant robot. And those ceilings aren't that high. There's zero chance Kingpin.
I mean, it
or
works
two
in the
guards didn't
PS4
notice them before.
game.
So we all realized that everyone in that building just got trans-dimensionalized and probably died a horrible, painful death. Just making sure.
Did
everyone's
not
good
think
with
of that.
This is kind of fun and all, but it's just Yoda fighting Dooku, right? One of the movie's only problems is sometimes leaving viewers with a bad case of what the f just happened-itis. At some point, this movie just said, f you, logic and physics, and wants me to just roll with it. And for the most part, I can. Still a sin, but it's a fun sin.
Aw.
I'd be sad if this girl and her robot were more than glorified cameo characters.
I got the portal open.
Yeah, like, that
You
didn't get
first,
to me
man.
at all.
How do they know they will each go back to their own dimension? Miles letting go of Peter here after both have finally understood their purpose? It won't be, but that was the superhero moment. Not whatever ass-beating Miles does after this. Why would Vanessa and Richard
True.
start randomly appearing here? Like most superhero films, the
Maybe
final
they're in
few
the
minutes
train.
turn into one big animated ball of nonsense. As they fall through the, I guess, a scene from inner space, somehow Miles and his father are both still alive and both still in or on things that are intact and can both see each other from this distance while falling into purgatory.
Dude.
Push the green button for me!
This works. Miles' dad survives this.
Okay, let's do this one last time, yeah? For real this time.
If we have to. Okay, but I
If we
remember
have
that
to.
scene on the bus. They weren't buddy-buddy. They just met. They were just getting to know each other. He said, if you ever decide to do friends again, I could open up a slot. And she awkwardly replied, I'll keep you posted. Now, is that the kind of conversation that ends with one of them saying, let's take a selfie together?
Yes.
Possible cannibalism.
Miles! Miles! You got a minute?
I love that song.
What's happening? Is he remembering her? Is she
What-
calling
what
to him
song?
from another dimension? It's Gwen's voice, but I feel like I should know what this means, and I don't. This movie rules.
Means there's gonna be
Everyone that worked on
more.
it deserves mention, but this movie
Yes.
has 10 minutes of credits. That's excessive, especially when the movie is going to put an after-credits scene at the end.
I don't care. Those credits were amazing.
Apparently, some kind of transposition has taken place. I find it extremely interesting.
Do you know how easy this is for me? I know why you left.
I love these.
Everyone knows why, and I told you why.
No, you said it was because of the TV. But I don't believe that.
I got some questions.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers?
Find that girl.
Oh, man.
Walk up to her and be like,
Oh, God.
how you doing?
You're all going to die down here.
Wait,
If you don't tell me your name, I'm gonna have to make one up.
It's Diane Sawyer. Hello?
God damn it, there's one more. I
I'm gonna roll you into
want
a
to
little
pause it
ball
before
and
it.
shove you up my vagina. Uncle Eric.
I should have paused it.
I'm not your f***ing mommy.
Good job! Wait, what?
Okay. No. God, I'm messing this whole ending up. I'm so sorry. Cool, cool, nice, awesome. Okay. This was a amazing video. I know while I was watching it, I was criticizing him like they didn't deserve a sin and stuff, but that's the point of his videos. It's like, it's so, you just get a sin, like, no matter what, basically. And I love that about his videos, and it's so funny. Like, it's entertaining. It's entertaining to watch. I'm really surprised I haven't done one of CinemaSins videos yet, but I loved it. I love this movie. I love this video about this movie. But yeah, it was awesome. I enjoyed everything about it. So thank you everybody so much for watching. If you like this video, feel free to leave a like down below because it makes me feel all warm and fuzzy on the inside. And don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more awesome videos like this one. So with that said, I have been Master Zero. Y'all guys have been fantastic, and I will see y'all in the next episode. Later days!